The last best of 3 of the day as a Protoss versus Protoss. Incredible miracle against MVP. To the bottom left, our player who just lost the map against the MVP player Genius. We have in the red color
IMC.
Ohana did not turn out in his favor. Now he's playing on Daybreak. He's preparing for the match. He's now just getting ready and he has to face Genius once again. Genius came in second in the last season of the GSL Code S. Starting to the top right. We have him in the blue color.
MVP Genius.
1 game away from advancing here.
Yep. Looking very strong. Despite, you know, having to play in such a stressed out position where he was 1 game away from winning before, he even had that game 1, he misattacked, and it's got to be stressful. Knows Seed checking for proxies here because he is 1 game away from going back, you know, not advancing here. See the gas timings this time a little bit faster for Genius. Nothing crazy like when he went second pylon before gas in the first game, which is more significant than people think. I'm really curious to see what Genius is going to do here because it's very unlikely he'll go for Phoenix build again, although this is also a really good map for Phoenixes. There's not as much room to escape as there was on the previous map, but there's still a lot of room to work with.
On this map, I've seen basically everything in PvP. Sometimes we see Blinkstalker play on 3 gateways. I've seen an epic match between JYP and Whitewell on this map, where both of them had an insane Colossi count with motherships in the picture as well. So this map, it has the potential to go for like a 40-minute PvP, but it could also end after just 10 minutes.
Absolutely. Anything could happen on this map. Like I said, the only thing that is really weaker on this map than other maps is Blinkstalker play, because as you guys can see, when you look at the mains, there's not a lot of area for Stalkers to blink in. You basically have to go all the way to the natural in order to do so, so there's no real backstab potential there. One thing to note right from the start is that Genius actually, you know, both these players made their first Zealot and they're both scouting. So this is something that doesn't always happen in this matchup. Sometimes one player doesn't scout because he's so confident in his build. Sometimes the player skips a Zealot. In Korea right now, everyone seems to be making the Zealot, but that's something that may change again fairly soon.
This is definitely going to be a really great match here, and I'm not quite sure. Seed seems pretty confident and pretty calm. I don't think that he's a player that is getting really nervous, and he told us actually in the interview that we had with him that he's not thinking about scores in a game. He just thinks about his next match in order to perform as well as he could. The story behind it was that he was down in a best of 5 in the final of the Fnatic tournament against Alive with 2-0, and that was actually really a great match, and he just thought from one game to the next and concentrated on the game at hand, so he does not really get all that nervous when he's behind, and this will definitely work in his favor here because a lot of other players would crumble beneath the pressure.
Seed is making 2 sentries as well as getting 3 gateways. He's likely to go for an expand.
Twilight.
Yeah, this is the best case scenario for Genius, in fact, because with all of the sentries that Seed has made here, they're going to be very useful defending against a possible 4-gate, which is very unlikely, but any sort of pressure at the natural that has to deal with Immortals or Zealots or even Stalkers. But Blinkstalkers, in a Blinkstalker versus Expand type build, you may have the same amount of units as your opponent, but if you do, then you know, if your opponent has Blink and you don't, then you're in trouble. This type of build from Genius is kind of like a catch-all build. This is the type of build that you see when you go for an Expand with Blinkstalkers, and this is going to be really bad for Genius because not only, if he actually goes for an expansion fairly soon here, not only will he not be able to pressure his opponent because his robotics will be so late, and his opponent will also be making a Nexus, but he won't really have any ability to use his Blink offensively to get into the main or anything like that. So this is a funny situation that we've gotten ourselves into now.
Here's the probe already in position and is going for the robotics, as is Seed. Both of them starting now. The first observer is on its way, and it's going to be very interesting if he's going for this expansion. The expansion for Seed is already, well, will finish in a few seconds. And what is Genius going to do from now on? He still has the probe position at the choke point.
He's making an observer right now as he adds another gateway. I'm not actually sure about Genius's build because this looks like the type of build you would do to try to get a Nexus up and you would backstab your opponent. But in this case, it's like he wants to attack safely with an Observer and blink Stalkers really late, but he doesn't know that his opponent has a Nexus. He can assume if he saw those sentries, which I'm not even 100% sure if he did. It's hard to say what Genius really knows right now or what he's actually thinking with this build. It looks very specific. It's specifically like a build where you use the Observer to do backstabs with your Stalkers, but
as long as there are... He has a huge Stalker count right now, so as long as there's only one Immortal, he can definitely use him in order to blink in there and snipe the Immortal. But if
he's going to be able to get this Observer,
then it's going to be a problem. The Observer is down, that blink has been revealed. The Zealot dies as well.
Well, this is going to be pretty hard for his opponent to defend.
Yes.
Surprisingly so, though, he has an Immortal in the mix, and he's buying so much time with these sentries. Genius could be in trouble here. I don't know if this is going to work. If he gets another Immortal out, he will be able to defend this fairly easily. This is such a weird all-in by Genius.
He has to try to attack before the second Immortal is in the picture. Even with the second one, he might still be able to pull it off, but as soon as there's a third, it's going to be too late.
Genius should go now.
He has the Observer. He can blink up, but then he won't have a blink available in order to retreat with individual units in order to save them.
Yeah, consider also those 4 Zealots in the mix. If he blinks forward, the Zealots will do a lot of damage. There are 2 Immortals here. I don't like Genius' position now. He does have the Sentry to make a Guardian Shield, which will be so important in this fight, but his opponent has the same advantage. Nice pick off of a Zealot there, but he needs to do more. He needs to do more. His opponent is on 2 bases, and he has Immortal Tech on the way. I mean, he already has 2 Immortals out. He can make more. He's got a 3rd one about to pop.
He has to make this attack count. He has to make it count. He needs to do some damage here, but as you already said, when if he blinks in, he will be in cooldown. He won't be able to retreat. 3 Immortals by now, which is huge against Stalkers. Here comes the Guardian Shield. Finally,
the Immortals need to be targeting Stalkers and not Zealots, and they were not. Genius targeting down the Immortals.
He's not microing them. He's losing every Immortal, and one is finally able to retreat.
Look how much damage the Zealots did. Look at that. Now he's actually defended the Stalkers so well. Yes. He can actually probably start his own Twilight Council at home.
This is looking awesome for Seed here.
Really nice micro from Genius, though.
But is it going to be enough? I actually doubt it, especially with an Immortal.
Yeah, it's not enough, and it looks like Seed has done it. Genius with a really weird build that I don't think he expected what his opponent was doing, and it was so hard to execute. Missed his timing, and Seed, like I said, can just make his own Twilight Council now. He's that far ahead.
This is just not going well for Genius. Seed is now going in with 2 Immortals. It is too much. He can't pull this off, and at this point, Seed is definitely in a dominant position as his opponent. Well, Genius, he's all in, and he's not doing any damage. He can't even expand behind this.
Yep, he needed to preserve his Stalker count if he was really going to stick around.
Nice.
The Zealot run by here is going to be so critical. Nice micro by Genius. He's going to try to blink into the main here, but he's going to lose a lot of Stalkers in the process and not do enough damage.
He's losing way too many. He's losing way too many. Trying to pick off one of the Immortals. He will be able to take it down, but at this point he lost already all of his Stalkers.
Look at the supply, 77 to 33, and Seed ties it up. GG! Genius, he said he hated PvP. He did a very weird build here, and quite frankly just got stomped by the very normal defensive Seed. It's so weird because if Seed didn't expand, that build would have been even worse. It would have been up against Immortals and Sentries and perhaps even Colossi eventually. And against the expansion build, he didn't utilize his timing. He saw with his Observer, he could have blinked forward, but once the second Immortal was there, no.
Even at 3 in the first fight, Seed ties the series. He forces game number 3. Genius is not happy about what just happened.
He is our Code S finalist from last season, and he's 1 game away from not advancing. Seed looking really strong in that game.
And really calm as well.
Is that a Razer headset?
No.
I thought it said Razer on the top, but I've never seen that before.
Is it?
I'm not sure. I'm kind of curious now. But someone could tweet at me about it, actually. Proxy Wolf could tweet at Caldor as well. And tell us, because I didn't know if that was, I wasn't sure about that. It looked like, I was like, that looks like a cool headset. I wonder what that is. See the logo at the top? I think it's Razer, but I'm not sure.
I think you're right. It might be the new one.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious because I have, I've tried so many different products from so many different companies, but I've never seen that Razer headset before. I'm kind of surprised.
I thought in the beginning that it was one of the SteelSeries headsets.
It might be like some sort of like new prototype or something. I don't know.
might well be some special edition.
I'm sure if it's not Razer, it's just IM sponsor headset, but I just don't know. And they are sponsored by SteelSeries, of course, so who knows?
This could be a 5H or a 7H.
It could be. I mean, it looks like one kind of, but it's kind of silly for me to assume it was Razer, but I thought it was SteelSeries until I saw the logo at the top, but it was like too faded for me to tell what it said. So anyway, let's move on from talking about this. Let's go into our third and final game. The map is Cloud Kingdom, a map where anything goes for PvP. From 4-Gate to Blink Stalker to Phoenix Play, only one strategy will emerge, one player will emerge victorious here at the GSL Code S. Who will it be? Will it be Seed? Or will it be